All right, here we are. Okay, so if you were here earlier, you noticed that there was a live stream buffering issue. For some reason, it streams on Facebook perfectly. I've got a buddy of mine who's a tech guy, really good tech guy, who does live streaming for video games. Because all this streaming stuff is new to me, especially when you're trying to live stream on multiple places at the same time, like YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all this different places at the same time. So instead, what I'm going to do for today, because I want there to be an update for all the fans, because we got to make sure there's updates for everybody and you guys see what we're working on and where we're at. Okay, so that being said, um, lost my train of thought, sorry. I'm going to do a video where it's just me working and I'll talk while I work and you'll see where we're at currently. I got back from my birthday vacation from California, had a wonderful time. Picked up some cells, went to the beach, Santa Monica. It was awesome. I love California so much. And I stayed at a nice hotel, and it's good times. So I'm very happy. So I'm coming back. I'm refreshed. I'm ready to go. And I've been working on this project a couple nights. If you're noticing from the screen what you see here, this is actually the final page, page 4 of the first Bluth Fable. And I have a name for the first Bluth Fable. Let me get that name. The name of the first Bluth Fable is called, and I lost it. Where is it? Where are you? I'll find it. It's a good name too, but it's long. So let's see. There we go. It's called The Rabbit Who Would Be King. Again, the name of this Don Bluth Fable is called The Rabbit Who Would Be King. And I did get Don's narration. Now I want to save that for later because we're getting some music to be applied to it as well. But you'll be able to hear Don's narration and there'll be some music behind it. I'll probably play both of them for you guys so you just hear his narration without any music. Then you'll hear the one with the music. I got a really cool guy helping us. His name's David. He's going to be doing the music for us. Good guy. Worked with him in the past. He does a great job. Looking forward to it. So yeah, actually it was amazing. I got Don to record 8 of the 12 he's written Bluth Fables. So I'm very, very happy I got him to record that many. I was like, how about we record another one? And then after we did that one, like, how about another one? So I just kept going and going. So now I have 8 of his recordings of 8 of the different fables. There might be some editing in there I have to do to make it, he, I think, goofed up once, so I just have to, and then he just redid it, so I have to go in there and do some editing. Just easy audio editing. It's pretty simple. Probably I could do that with a live stream as well. As soon as I get the live stream figured out, because I don't want to make videos like this where I'm just talking with, graphics on here. I like, talking with all the fans and all the people who are in the live streams because it makes it more dynamic that way and it's a lot more fun. So let's get started. Here is the last page. So what we originally did, I had a meeting with Dawn earlier this week. I think it was Monday. Maybe it was Sunday afternoon, and said, I don't like how it looks grayscale. Like we were going to make the backgrounds all black and white and different grays, with just a white background, but all like the objects and stuff were going to be gray, and it just wasn't hitting for me. And Don as well said, well, it looks good, but it's just missing something. It's missing color. So we decided, okay, he said, Lavelle, give it a shot. See if you can paint it. See how it'll look. This way, if I paint, we don't have to hire someone, and I can do a lot quicker. We don't have to go through all the, process of hiring someone and non-disclosures and all the other stuff that comes with hiring somebody and having them come to the office or anything like that, or doing it online and waiting. This way I just can get it done. So I started doing digital coloring, and I've never actually done digital watercoloring before, so it was a big challenge, but I did a lot of practicing before I actually started putting this together. I was practicing on these backgrounds. So This was the first one I actually did watercolor, and Don said it looks great. So I guess we're going to stick with the whole watercoloring process, and I'm going to be doing digital watercoloring, and I'm going to show you all 4 pages right now. So let me start with page 1. So let me go over here, open it up, bring it over. Here is page 1. So page 1 of the story, and did the watercolor here. Don did want a couple changes that I'm going to have to do, but I'll do that later. And so that was page 1. So let me open up page 2. This one was a lot of fun to do. So here's page 2 of the Bluth Fable. This one I love. I love those little troll goblins down there, and that little that stuff in the background, that, like, I don't know, Freddy Krueger grass. I think it looks really cool. So that is page 2, and what I'm going to be working on today is this in the live stream. So I don't know if you can see, but if you look over here on the right, you can see that all the smudge is gone. You know, these lines are staying, but in here you can see it's nice and clear. And then look over here, you can still see some smudge. So that's what I'll be working on in today's video, where I'm just going to be basically finishing up this desmudging on this one, so that I can say, all right, this specific story, all the coloring and stuff is done. Now we just got to start putting it together. We're working on the logo right now for Bluth Fables. That's what Don's working on right now. That's going to have to be painted. We're going classic style, the style that, you know, inspired Don when he was a young child, which was the Walt Disney style. So we're going to try to go that route for the intro, where it's Bluth Fables, where we're going to try to get some music that will always be there at the beginning of Bluth Fables, and with the little credits. And there won't be long credits. Got not that many people working on this, but we do now have a musician. I'm doing desmudging. I got another guy, Warren. He's going to be doing some desmudging for us too, and then I'm going to be doing all the coloring. Coloring is my favorite, so I want to do coloring. And then basically just put them together and then release them out to the public. So that's page 3, and then you've already seen page 4. That's what I started the stream on. This is page 4. Now, however, Don threw a curveball to me today and at the office and said, oh no, it was yesterday, and he said, I'm thinking I want to add another page. I'm like, oh, I thought I was done, because I'm ready to move on to the next story. And do you guys want to see what the next story is? Let's see if I can find an image. There's one image, and I'm just going to show it really fast, because I want to make sure that I have something for the next live stream to get everybody excited. So here is the next one. And the story is about a cat and a dog who fall in love with each other. And Don's done 4 of the drawings, and this one's going to have some motion. It's not going to be pure traditional 24 frames per second animation. It's just going to be some motion. So there's going to be motion in these, because I know everybody wants to see motion and animation. But without like a huge budget or anything, we can't animate these. But there could be a possibility that these Bluth Fables could end up being full-blown animated shorts. That could be like Fractured Fairy Tales, or like Disney would do those shorts where it was like Make My Music, or the Three Caballeros, where it's a bunch of small ones combined together. So that could be a possibility in the future. But right now we just want to get these done, possibly make it into a book, and make something for all the fans to enjoy and see. And not only that, have something new that Don is doing. Because I know we get a lot of questions. What's Don up to? What's Don up to? And, you know, a lot of the projects that we've been working on before, you know, are all top secret. And we want to have something that's for everybody to see. You can see it, and we can talk about it. Same with some of the other stuff we're working on, like Don's autobiography. We've got that with some agents now. We're trying to get that released so everybody can read the story of Don's life from the man himself. I'm going to drink some water here. Give me a second. Okay, so let me close this. Let me close this. This is actually what we're working on. So let me turn off the color. Now you can see what I'm talking about. If you look over here, let's zoom in over here. This is clean right here. All this is dirty. Over here it's clean too. Over here it's dirty. So this is what I'm working over inside of here is dirty too. Probably going to keep the feet dirty. Those look good. I like how that looks. So probably keep those dirty because it looks cool when you add the color. Let me add the color again and show you. That just looks cool. You know, like it's above water because it is above water at that point. But you're looking at it from a perspective of underwater above. So it's still going to be a bluish color, but there's going to be a tint, and that's why Don did what he did there. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be working on today. Normally at this point I would say, well, if any of you guys have questions, but I can't do that because there's nobody in here. I'm just making a video. So let me just start working and I can discuss things while I am working. So it's been a crazy week, you know, trying to get things to happen, talking with different producers, getting some music, getting a musician to get to work with us and find the right one. And this guy, like I said earlier, his name is David. He's just a nice fella. He lives in New Jersey, and he's got a lot of talent. He's done stuff for Disney, and he's done stuff for all kinds of stuff. I think currently he's working with Mark Hamill or something like that on a project. So he has a really good, what is it, repertoire? Yeah, so again, if you are new to watching these videos, what I'm doing here is a thing that we tokened at Don Bluth Studios called desmudge or desmudging, which is basically when you scan an image, because this is a pencil drawing, when you scan an image in, you know, and then you change the levels, as long as if you want to keep the lines to be nice and dark, you got to make sure you turn the levels on a correct way, a specific way. Therefore, you know, keep these lines to look like pencil lines, because this looks like a pencil line. And what happens is it also makes the paper come out and makes it look like this, where you see all this smudge. So then we go in there and we desmudge. Now, a lot of times I get questions or recommendations on different ways of doing it. Now, we've tried a lot of different ways using the I do use a Lasso Tool. I just go around the lines and then use a Lasso Tool because this eraser is perfect and I have it set at a specific pressure. But well, why don't you use the auto select? Well, the problem is you can never 100 when you do things automatic in the easy way where the computer takes over. Sometimes there's flaws and there's issues, or it eats the line. Now, what eating the line means is it starts to take some of the line away. Now, I'll just do a quick example. I do say this a lot in live streams. So, but look, if you look what I just did here, that's eating the line. See how now it's all thinner? Sometimes it might just eat the line a little bit like that, and it won't really make a big difference. But then you see this little chunk right here. And for those artists out there who like to study art or study Don or study what we're doing, you know, artists can usually see the flaws. You know, regular people probably won't, but we just want to make sure everything is perfect. And perfection, especially when you're in art, you know, or animation, perfection is key. I mean, you can go back and watch old 70s cartoons or any cartoons for that matter, where a lot of the painting was done overseas. And all of a sudden, for one frame, like Scooby-Doo's collar is like a different color, or maybe his arm is a different color, or they forget to draw or paint in a specific color. And you see that for just a split second. But that split second, you know, the trained eye will see it, the untrained eye won't see it. But again, we don't want to we want to make things, you know, as good as possible without, you know, any problems to them. And I personally am a bit of a perfectionist. So I like things to be, perfect. I mean, why not? And plus, I'm working for Don, so I don't want to disappoint him. And he'll go, now, why is that missing a color in that one frame? Because Don has a trained eye. He can see it, and I can see it too. So you don't want to. Oh, I just ate the line. See that? So let me get in there and just not eat the line. So even this way, you can, if you're not careful, you could accidentally eat the line. So again, this video is just going to be a regular video that I upload to YouTube and then link people to go watch without, the fans saying things because of the issues with the live stream earlier. Couldn't get to work. I tried everything that their troubleshooting said, so I sent in a ticket for help. So hopefully they get back to me soon. But they said update Mac to the latest version of Mac. Did that, spent hours doing that. Still didn't fix it. They said go in there and reinstall Studio Labs. Did that, didn't fix it. Clear the cache, reset Studio Labs. Did that, didn't fix it. So I have no idea why it's doing it. And the one thing I loved about the streaming is like, again, you can stream on multiple platforms because that's the internet today. Like everybody's on everything, or someone's like, I hate Facebook, I'm only on YouTube, or I hate YouTube, I'm only on Facebook, or I'm only on Twitch, or I'm only on Twitter or Instagram. I'm not streaming on Instagram, but I would like to stream on Instagram. So if any out there who are listening have any suggestions or have been through this problem with Streamlabs and you know a fix, please in the comments let me know definitely. Or if there's a better software. I mean, I paid for Streamlabs, so I'm kind of bummed if I have to buy another software program and use that, and then all of a sudden that does the same thing. My buddy who does streaming said, it could be YouTube. It could be YouTube changing their settings or something. Or it could be one small little setting I've not clicked. There's so many possibilities, and I'm not a professional live streamer yet, so it's still learning and still trying to figure out what's what. And when I finally did get live streaming to work, about I think a month or so ago, it was like, yes, I did it. This is amazing, and it was so much fun, and had tons of people joining and asking questions and helping with colors. That was my favorite thing is, asking the public like, no, what color do you think the lion should be? And then they came up with the lion color with me, and then I brought it to Don, and Don said, sure, that's the color of the lion. So it makes it more, I don't know, I want to say user friendly, but no, more active and just user interactive, and it just feels better, being part of the community and doing things for the animation community and having people be part of what we're doing. It's really exciting, and I really enjoy it. So I'm hoping I can get this live streaming fixed. And yeah, and also if you're new to this channel, you see on the bottom left it says subscribe. I did keep that in the video, so please subscribe to this channel. It's youtube.com/Lavalle Lee, and then hit that notification button so you get all notifications when we upload things. I'm going to be doing some behind the scene videos too with Don, where we're recording Don. I'll like talk to him, ask him questions, and he'll answer, or maybe even record him doing voice acting or something. I mean, there's so many possibilities and so many different things we can do. I'm just really excited and can't wait to like do it all, but the live streams was like the start of something new and fresh. And that's like, again, I really hope we can get this thing figured out so we can get back to doing actual live streams, not just me recording and talking to thin air, which I don't mind doing. I'm a talker, so I can definitely talk for a long period of time without going silent or anything. So as you can see, now you can see in the video, like I just smudged that all up, or I desmudged it. So now you can see where it was once dirty and now it's clean. And there's still a lot of spots over here. So let me get in here, right here. Get a lot of this. And again, this is my preferred way. When I was doing the painting, I have records. I love listening to records. I love that sound of the needle to the record. And I was just listening to like David Bowie or the Cars or a soundtrack. I just got The Crow, the original Crow, the Brandon Lee movie soundtrack. I love the music on there. It's very, it just, it entrances you in a way to where you just work. And I bought a couple other records that are on their way. I bought the Muppet movie one that's coming. I'm looking forward to listening to that. I bought the Tron one, the new Tron with Daft Punk. I'm looking forward to listening to that on record. Okay, let's see here. Just, I don't know, there's something about vinyl that just really, I really enjoy. Rather than just turning on MP3s and set them to random. There you go, look at that. Okay, so get more of that over here. So there's a lot of cool things that we're doing. You know, we had a pretty big meeting today with the producer. You know, there could be something cooking, but we don't want to say anything just in case it doesn't come through. But once something comes through and there's money in the till for a project, we will, again, we're going to be very transparent with what we're working on. But we don't want to say, hey, we're working on this, and then it doesn't go anywhere. And then we get everybody excited about, I'm just going to make a name up, Boogerland Face. Like, that's the name of, it's just a random thing I said. But say we're working on said Boogerland Face and got everybody excited, and then we're like, yeah, we're talking to producers, and then we're going to get investing, and then all of a sudden, the investors, it didn't come through, and then everybody would be disappointed, and we'll be disappointed that we got everybody's hopes up for that specific project. So, but we know that for sure we're doing Bluth Fables, and you guys can watch us work while we're doing this, and that to me is exciting. And I could talk about Don's autobiography, which he printed out a couple pages for me to read, and wow, I mean, he's saying, like, he does a lot of interviews, right? And I mean, we just got a call today, I think the company's called Vulture. They want to do an interview with Don. So we're going to, you know, Don's going to do the interview with them, but they don't ask, a lot of these places don't ask the right questions. You know, they're like usually bubblegum questions. So, and what I mean by bubblegum, it's like the same questions they ask everybody. How'd you get your start? Why did you leave Disney? And then Don has to answer like quickly. You know, he doesn't get to actually go in depth about it. So in this book, he's going way in depth about everything. So you can actually, because it's going to be like 250 pages. So that's 250 pages of history of animation. Because, you know, Don's been doing it since, what is it, Sleeping Beauty? So that's history. So, and you know, his book, I wouldn't be surprised if his book becomes like reading in like certain animation colleges, like animation history or something. That would totally make sense. I mean, crap, I would love to teach that class because I love animation history personally, like the stories of all studios, not just Don's. Like I love the Termite Terrace stories from Warner Brothers and Looney Tunes. Those are great. Disney stories, DreamWorks stories, Fleischer stories, you know, you name it, Nickelodeon stories. All of it. Just I am ready to learn new things. But I know quite a lot, and I have a lot of friends in animation, and they tell me things, and you get like firsthand knowledge from people who actually work there, not just the stuff that studios let you know, but like behind the scenes stuff. Don calls it, I remember when I started first working for Don over 5 years ago, he was like, because I was a student before his and I didn't know all this stuff, but he's like, okay, Lavelle, you get to see behind the curtain. And I love that analogy or metaphor or whatever it is about, you know, seeing behind the curtain, like on Wizard of Oz, because like there's the wizard, you know, he's like, I am the great and powerful Oz, you know, and then all of a sudden he's this guy behind a curtain, and then you're like, okay, so he's just a regular guy. So that's the thing, you know, Don is a guy. He's a regular guy, human being, and he's just done amazing things, you know. And it's awesome to be able to be behind the curtain, and what's great is be part of, you know, stories of stuff that's happening now, that's also like what's happening right now is animation history, and I get to be a part of that. And I hope all of you who listen, some of you probably might be veterans or working in animation right now, and if you are, you're part of animation history, and that's an amazing thing to be part of. And if you're a student and you're getting into animation, or you want to be in animation and you're starting to learn, you know, just work really hard, and hopefully, you know, with enough practice and enough hard work, you'll get in the industry and you'll be part of history. Because there's not many fields out there of work, because animation is work, just so you know. It does look like fun and games, but it is a lot of work. There's a lot of fields out there that go unnoticed. Like no one's actually going and reading the history of like plumbing. I mean, unless you're a plumber, but I mean, even then, they don't really go to the history, like who created, you know, the specific nozzle that, you know, has water come out as hot. I mean, I don't think that's actually taught. It might be, but it's not something that's well known. Animation, though, there is this love for animation, and there's this, what's the word? This, I don't want to say rose-colored glasses look at animation, but more like just like a passionate love for the field of animation. And I mean, you could tell someone, yeah, I'm an animator, and their eyes light up. You know, if you tell someone, yeah, I'm an accountant, they don't go, oh wow, that's so cool. How did accounting come to be? What's the history of accounting? I don't think so. It doesn't work that way. There might be the history of math, though. I know math is a big thing, and people who solve gigantic math equations can become famous and stuff. But still, it's not animation. There's just something about this art form that it's just romantic. I guess that's the word I was looking for. It's romanticized, and that's the best thing about animation is, and being part of it is, you feel that, especially when you finish something. Like when I did the watercolor of these backgrounds, and I looked at it, I looked at it and said, man, it always feels good when you finish something. Even when you finish something and then your boss says, well, I want you to make changes, but you still feel like, okay, good. And of course he liked it. Don even said to me, and you know, Don does give out compliments, but rarely, unless you really earned it. Like he'll say good job or whatever, but when he says something like this, which he said to me, he said, you have a real eye for color and painting. And when he said that to me, especially because I'm doing it first time doing digital watercolor, I've done watercolor on paper before, you know, on canvas, but never digitally. And he said that it felt really good because that was a true, sincere comment or critique. It wasn't just good job. It was a comment with like praise. That's what I'm looking for. Praise. Everybody wants praise, you know? You do a good job, you want to be praised. Some places, I think they say Walt Disney would say, that will do. Or Walt wouldn't praise anybody. He would just be like, okay, that works. Now imagine doing that, like you're working your blood, sweat, and tears, and you're like, I'm gonna go show Walt Disney. And then Walt says, that'll do. Like, how would that feel? You know? Especially if that's like the first time he looked at something you did. I don't know. I'd be a little crushed. Like, that's all I get? This is my finest work. Please say something else. Say good job. You did a wonderful job, or thank you, or something. Not that will work. And I, once, I'm pretty. My plan is to one day be a directing animation and in charge of that type of stuff and being the boss. I'm going to make sure I praise people because I believe in feeling good. And I hope all of you believe in that too. Because if you work hard, you want someone to say you did a great job instead of just saying, that'll work. So that's just me. I like, positive reinforcement because I enjoy it myself. I want to be told I did a good job too because what that does, it gives you a boost. Some people might give an ego boost, but for me, it gives me a boost where then I'm like, okay, I gotta do more, I gotta do more, I gotta do more, and then I want to do more. But if someone say you suck, you're not gonna go home and be like, I'm gonna go work. I'm gonna go work. You're gonna go home and you're gonna be like, that sucked, and it's gonna feel bad, and you're gonna feel bad, and unless you have a really thick skin. So thick skin means nothing can hold you down or make you feel bad or whatever. But not everybody has a thick skin, especially artists, because when you do an art piece, that's like your soul. This is your heart and soul into work that you're doing. And you just want to make sure, you did a good job. And then when you're done, you would love to get, someone's opinion. But some people's opinions, and be prepared for this if you're new to art, some people's opinions you're not going to like. I've been there. I mean, it took me a while to break habits in animation because I started with Flash animating with a mouse. So I was drawing with a mouse, and everything I did, it was very, very flat. And it took me a while to break that flat look and to understand even that I was doing it. Because I was just making cartoons just for the sake of making cartoons and putting them on Newgrounds or YouTube just for people to see and having a lot of fun doing it. And as I started learning from professionals, I realized that, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to learn. I need to get better. So I just, kicked my own butt into working hard and working all hours of the night, learning as much as I can, becoming a sponge, they say. When you want to learn, become a sponge. And then when you're with, I remember being in the room when Don and I went to Disney, and he was talking to Mark Henn. I was a fly on the wall, but I was listening to everything they were saying. And they were talking about kids these days and animation and CG. And then there was Mark Henn doing animation thumbnails for the CG artists to use as reference for, what movie was that? That was Wreck-It Ralph. So it was interesting to be there and be a fly on the wall. Or when he was talking to John Musker, or was it Ron Clements? I think it was Ron Clements. He was talking to Ron Clements, and again, I was just a fly on the wall. I got to have a picture with him. I was happy about that, but I was just a fly on the wall listening to what they were saying, and it was awesome. So be a sponge, be a fly on the wall, learn, never overstep your bounds. Be cautious when you ask for help. Don't be overbearing. Say, please, 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 please train me, please, please. I think it was Richard Williams that said, people wouldn't help him until he started paying. So he spent a lot of money learning how to become an animator. And I've done the same thing. I've spent money and paid some ex-Disney guys to train me back when I was living in Florida. This is after Don shut down his thing called Don's Club. And Don's Club was something where it was Don doing a live stream every week, and everybody could just upload their own stuff, and he'll look at it and give you advice. And he sold DVDs and stuff, or you could do the lessons on the DVD and stuff like that. But then they closed it after 4 years, and then I was like, okay, so now where am I going to get my training? So now I was in Florida, and Florida had a lot of those ex-Disney animators, worked on Mulan, Lilo and Stitch and stuff. So I met a couple of them, and then I ended up finding a life drawing where they went to, and got to know them, and a lot of them became my friends. And then I'd say, can you give me some training? And you don't want to take someone's time, because everyone's time is worth something. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to do work yourself for free. So I would say, well, I would love to get your help in training. How much? Or I would even barter too, because I'm a graphic designer. When I went to school for web design and building websites and stuff like that, and internet marketing, as I'm sure all of you have found this video through my marketing. So I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. So I would help companies and help these guys, and they would give me some training in return. And I've got a lot of valuable training from Don and Disney animators, and I wouldn't trade any of that for anything. It's just been a wild ride, and I'm still under 40. So I got to do a lot of this stuff in my 20s and in my 30s. But if you're even younger than that, get into it now. So then when you are my age, you're going to be a pro. You know, you're going to be under 40, you're going to be in your 30s, you're going to be like, I got this, I am good. Maybe you've done artwork for a movie or TV show or a cartoon or a streaming service or a book or something, you know, or you got an online series on YouTube that everyone loves. Because it takes time. You know, you can't build a village overnight. It takes time to build. You know, some people get lucky and get discovered, and some people don't. So, I mean, if you're just basing your career on luck, good luck. But if you work really hard, you can do anything. And I believe that fully, because I've worked really hard to get here. And my family's proud of me. My friends are proud of me. And even I'm proud of me. I surprised myself. Like, wow, I actually did that. That's amazing. I can't believe sometimes I have to pinch myself, you know. But it doesn't change how I work. And I always give it 110% or more. I'll give it as much as I got. I'll be working where my eyes are droopy and I can't even stay awake anymore. But I'll just be sitting there falling asleep and still working. It takes dedication. And nothing ability, for the most part, unless you're a savant, can't be given to you. It's not something you can just be given. You have to earn it and work hard to make it happen. All right, so it's enough of me ranting about that. Let's go over here, get around here. Oh, ate the line. It's always got to be careful. And I think the next live stream I'll be doing will be me editing. I'm hoping, because Don's still making the logo, so I really can't edit. I mean, I could do a placeholder in there. We'll say logo goes here or something like that, and then start putting it together. I also want to find some filters and effects for Premiere and see if I can get some cool stuff, effects to happen during this. There might be some like panning. I don't know. Should I leave some of that foot just hanging off like that? Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Let's see what Don says. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Let me get in here. I noticed now that I don't have people in here, I don't have to read comments. So it makes it Makes me work a little faster, so I just talk and work at the same time. But boy, oh boy, is it still hot here in Arizona. It was 100 and something, and right now I'm sweating. I try not to use too much. I was born or raised poor with a single mom on welfare, so I can always hear my mom saying, "Don't waste electricity if you don't need to." And it's something that's been with me my whole life. And I try not to waste electricity or waste money, uh, and also be humble. And I learned all that from my wonderful mother. Okay, I wonder if I should get rid of this. I'll look at this first and see. Get rid of that. And that. Yeah, I think I should. Maybe I can make it kind of like what I did just over up there. Kind of like that. As I was feeling Don's going to say, no, no, no. Don't add anything. Let's see. So, go around here. Go like that. Then go around. Okay. I mean, that looks funny right now. When you look at that, it looks pretty funny, doesn't it? But once I go in there and actually get rid of it, you'll never even notice it was there. Watch. See? Just looks like it was never there. Yeah, this has got to go. That looks weird. Go around. See, all this right here is the same color. So now I'm almost making lines up. If you look at that, and this looks like too thick right here, so I'm going to go back and thin that out. But there was no actual line that said that's where the line is, so don't mess that up. But now you can't really tell. Looks good. Good. I am almost done with this bad guy, or bad boy. This is not the bad guy in the story. I think he's like the victim. Because he is now underwater, and the bunny put him there. In the next story, with the dog and the cat getting married, I really love that story. That one's, I cannot wait to start on that and show everybody that. And depending on if the music is done or not, and the logo is done or not, I might start live streaming that next project or the next book instead of putting together this one, because we still need, again, the Bluth Fables logo and the music. So without the music and the Bluth logo, the Bluth Films logo, I can't finish it. I can only get so far. Let's see, go down here. And also, if you're still with me, or almost 45 minutes into this, I set up a Reddit for hand-drawn animation. And I'll be probably posting that up online later, but I noticed that there really isn't that many Reddit animation groups or pages. I was very surprised. And because I've been learning about Reddit, and I'm not really a big fan of Reddit. I don't think it's that great, but I feel like traditional animation and Don should be represented on there. So I'll be posting up stuff on Reddit as well as everywhere else. But if you're a Reddit person, look out for that. I mean, you can find me on Reddit. I'm under Lavalle Lee, and I created a new Reddit subgroup, I think they're called Hand-Drawn Animation. So you could find that, and I'm working on that. We'll be working on it this weekend, probably, and getting that started. Like a logo, or not a logo, but like avatar, header, invite people, advertise it on all their social media, stuff like that, to get awareness on it. But Reddit is definitely a different animal, and it's old too. Reddit is one of the older websites out there. When it comes to social media, Reddit is old. Facebook is young compared to Reddit, and so is Twitter, even though Facebook is pretty old. It's been around for quite a while. Okay, get around here. Wow, this is exciting. It's almost done. And get that. Go around these little bubbles. Bubbles! Go around. Grab over here. Smaller. Like these tiny little crevices, you always have to be very careful. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to really zoom in that close to find how well I got into the crevices, but I do still want to make sure it is as good as possible, like I was saying earlier. Okay, make that bigger, go up. Now let's clean that bad area. So, take the marquee, or the Lasso Tool. See, in Clip Studio, to get the Lasso Tool, it's M. You just hit M on your keyboard. But on Photoshop, you hit M, you get the square marquee. So you have to hit L to get the lasso in Photoshop. And I remember I was working in Photoshop, and I was like, oh, where's the lasso? It's not M. Then I hovered over it, I was like, oh, okay, it's L. That makes sense. Lasso, L, that makes sense. But it was just a funny little thing that happened. All right. That is nice and clean. Look at that. Oh, get down here. Also, I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but I have a 16 X, I think, or it's a 16 Wacom Cintiq. And for some reason, it's really bright. And I look over on my computer, and I can see the stream, and I can see the colors better than I can see over here. Like this right here is not as dark on my screen, on my tablet, as it is on my Mac screen. So it's, I don't know if that's something like a setting I could fix, but I do need to fix that so I could see it a little better. I know there's collaboration products out there. We have one at the office, but it's really old now. It's kind of 5 years old. I don't think it would work on this computer. And I also think it was for PC. All right, so go around here. I think I got most of this already, so I can just go like that. Nice. Cool. All right. Man, there's barely anything left. I love it. Let me just do one more piece, and then I'm going to stop this video here. At this point, I would be saying, now if anybody has any final questions while I just do a little bit of this, because I'm going to finish this a little later. And but yeah, at this time I'd be saying, now get all your questions in or anything you want to say in the live stream out right now, because you won't be available till the next live stream. And speaking of which, the next live stream, if all goes well, is going to be Thursday. Hopefully, maybe I can have something up online. I might be posting some of these pages just by themselves, standalone, on our social media, so you'll be able to see them by themselves. And so not just waiting for a live stream every week, you can see stuff during the week as well. But we're getting close to the deadline of the next class for Don Bluth University. So a lot of my time is going to be switched over to setting up all the student usernames and accounts and the websites and sending everybody their welcome packets and basically just getting all the students ready for the November class. It's the first week. It starts in the first week of November, which is the first Wednesday. And so now that September is on the verge of being over, I usually spend a good portion of October making the final sales of students. We've got a couple seats left, and getting them in and putting together what dates of the masterclass and building the website, because they get their own password protected student area that I build. And Don wants to do some updates to some of the lessons, which is awesome. And let's see. Yeah, so some of October is going to be spent doing that. Also, good news, I'm going to California again. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a meeting out there. It's not animation related, sorry. But I got a meeting out there because I picked up some cells today, and I may be picking up some more. And let me go like this. And a buddy of mine also wants to go out there that I haven't seen in a while, and he wants to go to Disneyland. And the rumor is Disneyland is going to be opening. I really hope they do by the time I go out there, because I've been craving to go to Disneyland. I'm sure a lot of you have been as well. And I'm looking forward to going there and seeing, I haven't seen Star Wars Land yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing Star Wars Land and the new Toy Story Land and all that fun stuff. Because it has been a while. Because, of course, you know, the virus and everything kind of stopped everything going on everywhere. Okay, get this. So, again, I'm going to be ending here soon, so let me give my outro while I keep working. I am Lavalle Lee from Don Bluth Studios. I am the newly appointed vice president. I wear many hats. I do whatever is needed. I also run traditionalanimation.com and all the traditional animation social media out there. So if you found this, you probably found it from one of the things I just mentioned, either Don Bluth Studios or traditional animation. And I definitely, all of us, including Don, and everybody at Traditional Animation, because we do have a few people that do articles and post for us as well. We appreciate all your support. And we know and we feel just like you do, where we want a renaissance of 2D animation. And we are working on trying to make that happen. And that's by meeting with producers, investors, and we have a few of those that we are working with and trying to make things happen. And it is easier said than done. Definitely it is, especially now because of the virus. No one's making movies, and if someone does buy a project or wants to do a project, it would still be, they're like, okay, sure, yes, but it'd be on hold. So that's a big issue right now, is because, let me try to get this real quick. Because of what's going on in the world today, it's hard to get anything greenlit. And everybody, all of you, if you have a favorite TV show that you watch and you're expecting new episodes, good luck, because nothing is being produced. There are a few things being produced, but then I think actors have to sign some kind of waiver saying if they get COVID or if they give COVID. I mean, there's all this legal stuff involved, which just sucks. And, you know, some things just are not being made, and it's a bummer. But hopefully, there comes a cure, and we all can go back to normal. And because I want to go out there and I want to pitch. Actually, you know, some people get really, like, my first time pitching, the first time I pitched, it was to Nickelodeon. And oh, was I nervous. I was very nervous. But I shouldn't have been, you know? I actually pitched something of my own a long time ago. And when Nickelodeon was at their they got a new studio now, a location, but they're at their old location. And walking in there, you see big SpongeBob stuff and, you know, all their great series and big signs and big Nickelodeon logos and stuff. You feel a little intimidated. And I was just you know, making these online flash cartoons like, oh, they're going to love it. And the problem is, a lot of these companies, they already have like this long list of stuff they're working on. So even if they buy it from you, there's no guarantee. I've known people who've sold stuff to studios and it just never gets made. You know, they have it, they own the rights to it, and nothing happens. That could happen too. So you might have a great idea, they'll buy it, and you're like, yes, yes, and then nothing ever happens. Or they could just tell you, listen, we've got too many things on the pipeline right now. We have no room for anything new. And a lot of these companies just hire in-house animators. So if you end up working for Nickelodeon, it'd be much easier for you to pitch than, say, just someone off the street. Because when you're pitching off the street, it's almost like you're cold calling somebody and trying to sell them a product, and you don't know who they are, they don't know who you are, or maybe they do know who you are, and you don't know who they are, or maybe you guys do know. I mean, it always helps if you know people, and that's with almost every business. It always helps if you know somebody, someone that can help you find a job. And when I say know somebody, I don't mean like they're your Facebook friend, because in reality, you really don't know them. They're just your Facebook friend. So don't harass people like, oh, this guy, he works for Nickelodeon, and he's my Facebook friend. He accepted me. And then all of a sudden you're just like, hey, help me, help me. I get that countlessly, where people are asking for help, and there's nothing I can do, you know? And not only that, I don't know certain people. I mean, it's, you just don't be, what's the word? Don't be rude. Just, you know, and it is a hard business to get into. I mean, it really is. It's not, it's not like getting a job at McDonald's. You just show up, say, hey, I want to work at McDonald's, and they go, sure, come on in, because they're starving for workers. I mean, a lot of people have ideas, and they get a lot of pitches every year, and even their employees probably pitch tons of things as well. So just just be humble, and don't harass people, and join art groups like in real life. I used to go to this art slam, and I met people there, or life drawing, or especially if you're in California. I mean, if you live in California, you're in the perfect place to meet artists and get to know them and stuff like that. And as long as you're a good dude or a good lady, people will like you. Don't be mean. Don't be rude. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'll keep you guys on the line here just for a few more minutes. I don't think you mind, do you? I know you can't answer, but I'll pretend that you said, no, go ahead, keep going. Let me just finish it. So I'll finish this while I'm here with you guys. Get that. Go up like that. Go around here. Go around here. And to keep going with what my thought there is, even if someone says no, don't give up. Don't give up. Because the moment you give up is the moment you lose those dreams. And you don't want to, and if you have a dream, go for it. I've talked to many people who are adults when I was younger who said, I was like, well, what did you want to be when you grew up? And they're like, well, I want to be a meteorologist. Well, why did you never become a meteorologist? Well, I had a kid, and I had to raise my kid, and I had to work, and I mean, I understand, having a kid and everything, but, still don't give up on the dreams. Do nights or weekends or something, and if someone says no, keep going, or I just couldn't get into it. Everyone keeps telling me no. Well, if everyone keeps telling you no, for every 100 no's, there's one yes. So try 101 times. And if they still say no even after 101 times, keep going. Go to 200. Go to 300. Keep trying. Do whatever you can. I mean, I moved cross country so I could be part of animation. So twice. So just don't give up. Do what you got to do. And keep dreaming. And here is, let me zoom out. Here it is. I think I got it all. I'm going to leave that little area up there. I mean, technically you won't be able to tell. So let me turn on, there's a couple things I can still do with this, but I'll do that on my own time. Let's turn on the color. There you go. And let me save it. That looks great. Yes. I saved this as a PSD so I can open up in Photoshop. Just a thing I do. Because I like to go back and forth between Photoshop and Clip Studio. But that looks like it's going to be it. That was an hour. How about that? So I'm very glad I got to do this and make a video. And again, if you were part of the live stream earlier, I apologize that it kept buffering out. I mean, but when you listen to, I went back and listened to it, and it was like, yes, it's like when you go to a burger joint and you go to the drive-thru, you have to like one burger and ice with a drink and extra large. So that's what it sounded like, where it just kept cutting off my words or just skipping to something, and it was very disappointing. So I did this. I'm just going to upload it to YouTube, upload it to Facebook, and it'll be clear and wonderful. And again, thank you so much if you're watching. I am Lavalle Lee from Don Bluth Studios and traditionalanimation.com. I'll see you later.